Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Jojo Gonzalez, and I'm just finishing up my morning routine, getting into the Word here. I wanted to share with you Psalm 64. It's another Psalm of David. It's a prayer for protection against hidden enemies. And, we've been through our lifetime, whether you're in school, you're out of school, wherever you're at, you can kind of see sometimes when people come against you, and it's just kind of blatant, right? This is a prayer for people that he cannot see. And it's an interesting prayer. Like he asks God, he says, "Hear my voice, O God, in my complaint. Guard my life from the terror of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel and conspiracy of the ungodly." And he's saying, when they're conspiring, in their whatever place they're in, just hide me from them. Don't even let them think about me. Then he says, from the scheming of those who do wrong, who have sharpened their tongues like sword, they aim venomous words as arrows. Just those guys talking, whatever it is, David's he's like asking for protection against even that slander, even that talk. And he says, to shoot from ambush at the blameless one. They're hidden and they're shooting, right? He says, suddenly they shoot at him without fear, just kind of at random, maybe something that they've thought about. God protects us from even those random things, those things that are just hidden. And he says, suddenly they shoot it with him without fear. They encourage themselves in their pursuit of an evil agenda. And they say this, they say, who will discover us? They devise of injustice, saying, we're ready and with a well-conceived plan. So they move forward based on their own wisdom, based on their own way of thinking. And then he says, for the inward thought and the heart of a man are deep. They're mysterious and unreachable, unsearchable. But God will shoot them with an unexpected arrow. So this is where he turns the page and he starts looking to the Lord, describing God's character to us. Yeah, and God does. God protects us. He kind of knocks those things down even when we don't see them. He says, suddenly they will be wounded, so they will be caused to stumble. Their own tongue is against them. They'll fall on their own words, right? It says, all who gaze at them will shake their heads in scorn. Then all men will fear God's judgment, right? And you kind of see these people devising. Then all of a sudden, God's, get what he's saying. God shoots his arrows. God comes against them, whatever it is, causes them to be wounded, causes them to stumble. And people take notice. They're like, yeah, these guys, God, that's definitely God's hand, right? And that it causes other people, to fear God's judgment. And he says they will declare the work of God, and they will consider and wisely acknowledge what he has done. And that's what all this is about, is giving God the glory, letting people see God and turn to him, saying, yeah, you know what, there he is. We see him, right? And then it says, the righteous will rejoice in the Lord and take refuge in him. All the upright in heart will glory and offer praise because of what God has done for us. When we see God's work, we see God's hand. That's all we can do, man, is give God the glory, give God the honor, give God the praise. He alone is worthy for the things that we see, things that we don't see. So it's a good psalm. Think about these things. You go about your day, just, middle of the day, middle of the morning, mid-afternoon, man. Think about these things. God is protecting you from those things that you do not see. God bless.